Hi there, it's Paul from Hurricane Forex. Got a new release today, and I'm going to go through some of the things it's got that it didn't have before, and so going to do a full demo. So we're going to start off by looking at trend and looking at how Hurricane Forex enables you to find out where you are on a trend. So basically, I've got a really simple uptrend here. So you can see that we've got, you can see where it came into the uptrend. So you can see these two, the blue and gold line and the white line came together, and you can see what happened was that when they come together and cross, and then we're into an uptrend, okay, and you can see that you've got buy signals all the way along here, okay, and there's a buy signal there and a buy signal there. Actually, when this is happening, you probably only want to take buy signals unless the price starts crossing across there, and we'll find a chart where that happens in just a minute. So you wouldn't be taking these sell signals, you just know that you've got to close your buys. You'll notice it's a lot cleaner, there's a lot less signals on it now, and that's been filtered by using some clever maths using, well, say it's clever, I did it, using parabolic SARs and using the maths behind parabolic SARs to filter out the signals so they're a bit better. So you can see that we've got quite a few things going on. Now up here, of course, we've still got our information. There's some really useful information that helps you trade there. Firstly, the spread, so that if you go to trade something that's got a huge spread, you can go, actually, you know, I'm not going to trade that. You can see that we've got quite a small spread on this account, on this currency, dollar CAD. I wouldn't expect anything less. It says you've got a weak bullish market, 18. That's the angle of the last 12 hours of that white line, and that tells us how strong or weak a market is. And if it's a really strong market, it's going to be quicker trades than if it's a slower market. Then you've got this new thing. This is ATR in pips. That's useful if you want to set a trailing stop on your thing. So you set your trailing stop to 339.391 because it's actually in points, the trailing stop. So you just divide it by 10 in your head. So the ATR for this pair is 39.1 pips. We've also got this thing down the bottom here which shows us the MACD trends at the moment. So at the moment we've got a bearish 1 minute trend, everything else is bullish. Are you going to take buys on this? No. So when you hit here, you know that's probably a pullback, and in fact you can see we've got this blue pullback line, which wherever there is a pullback or a move, it kind of sets it. And you can see how there was an entry here on the green candle, and it immediately pulled up and broke that pullback line, went to the next one, there's another pullback there, it's recognized, and there's another pullback here. So this pullback was a little one because we were coming into news, in fact there, and then we've got this rally up here, and then there's a sell signal, which is actually the start of a pullback probably. However, we've had a lot of rock and roll today because of the Bank of Japan and sterling, and there's been lots of news, so obviously that makes things a bit more difficult. I'm just going to scroll through some charts. Here's Swiss yen, so you can see how much that affected. We had this big rally up here, and you can see that it's given us a signal here on this candle here and the second candle in. So you'd wait for the news. This is the way I trade news, okay. I look at the general movement in a pair, and I wouldn't be trading this anyway, okay, because normally it's flat as a pancake, Swiss yen. You can see how it's hardly moving. I mean, it was fine here, it was all moving, but then it kind of got into a bit of a bearish trend, but it's very slow. You can see how these are daily parabolic SAR signals, and you can see how they're really flat. There's not much of a trend there, okay. You can also see that all the lines are kind of merged together, and that's a bad sign. Shouldn't be trading that. Then there was a suddenly breakout into a buy, and everything went bullish, and then the news hit. This is the first bit of news. Sorry, there was 3 bits of news today, and then the Japanese decided to sort out their currency, and of course they intervened in the markets, which caused this, which was a big move. So you'll get your second signal on there. Now what I tend to do is stick that on and immediately put a trailing stop on. Now we'll point out at this point, because ATR is based on the last 14 candles, of course it thinks that it's 118 pips trailing stop is required, and actually when that kicked off you probably would need 118 pips because it was bouncing up and down like a yo-yo. Now we're into this section here, which is probably going to be a pullback, and then it's going to be into a bearish trend, I should think, in the short term. So let's try this pair. So you can see we've got a nice uptrend, and now we've got into a flat market. See, it says market flat, ATR 39 pips. It looks like it's trying to go bearish. You can see what happens when the market tries to change direction. Things stop adding up. So you've got sell there, buy is happening here, but although it's starting to show, you see that blue line starting to go into a sell. If we see a break back down through this blue gold line, okay, that is then entering into a sell phase. So you can see it's starting to move into a sell trend. There's a bit of a big W going on there, so I suspect it will pull up, and it hasn't got any sell signals on it yet. But let's look at this nice trend that was going on. So we've got some nice buy signals, one there. There's one here. There's one here, and of course your stop would be sort of here-ish. And that pulled back again, and then went into this lovely buy, and then up to this buy signal. And you can trade this. There's a couple of ways to trade it, and you'll see if you watch my last two videos, I show two ways of doing it. So the first way is to set up a target to the next fib. So that's here. Just put that in. So let's use the I don't want to change the colours. Let's use the first. So the target would be here. You would set a trailing stop of the distance between your entry, which in this case would be about here and there. That would be your trailing stop entry. Okay, so the moment it hits that pair, the trailing stop kicks in, your stop goes behind entry, and it sits there, and then it will rally and keep going. Or you can use ATR for your trailing stop, so you need to multiply that by 10, so 439 points would be your trailing stop. And another way of doing it is when you break this level, okay, and you've put your stop inside the entry, and your trailing stop sort of there. So let's say your entry is here on this candle, okay, it's pulled back a bit, but you stayed in the trade because you're a good trader like that. Your stop's there. Let's say your price is here because it's now got to this point. So then you enter another trade. So you enter another trade here. Sorry, trade 2 is there. Trade 1 was back here. The stop is now there. Stop 1. See, sorry, my writing's very bad when I'm doing it with the mouse. And then stop 2 goes here. So if the price suddenly turns around, which it did for me this morning, thanks to the news, I had 4 trades on it. It looked really cool, and then it just all got wiped out. But I didn't lose any money because of the way I'd structured my trades. So then you both take profits will sit here, okay, and then it breaks up, and what did it do? And the trading stops following the first trade, and it actually pulls back halfway, and it didn't get to take profit there, but it did actually to here. Or you could actually enter another trade here on this buy signal. But you can see it's a lot clearer now. I've removed a lot of the signals that were there, so you can actually see when pullbacks happen, and you can enter your trades intelligently. I mean, you've just got to watch your stop levels. So if you enter the stop here, your stop's got to be here, because you've actually got to have your stop below the last sort of today's candles, if you like, and then you'd be absolutely fine. There's a bit of a pullback, but it goes all the way up to here. Same thing here, that you get a signal on that candle probably somewhere there, stops down here, set your target, take profit there probably, and get your trading stop in, and then it'll just go up behind it. Now your trading stop needs to be the right sort of level. You know, I'm the sort of person, I like to put a trade on and leave it to run its course, but I also need to, you know, we need to be risk on about this thing. You can see what happened here. So we went into a sell here, and the first sell was actually on this candle. So if we put our trading our stop loss there, we'd probably get away with it, and then it entered this big sell. But my big worry here would be that we're actually in an uptrend. However, when these two lines, you see it looks like an alligator, when they start doing that, that's a sure sign that we're starting to trade in the opposite direction, and we're starting to change direction. And you can see the daily has already gone bearish, so we're now in a very difficult period to trade, because, so I suspect what will happen with this, if we draw a little line across there, this will probably pull up to somewhere there, and then we'll be in a downtrend. Okay, so, but you can tell the market's changing because of this. Right, so here we've got a nice strong uptrend, whereas over here we've got a market changing direction. Now, if it could go into another uptrend, okay, so it's unlikely, and you've got the same thing here going on in here. You've got it. We had a nice uptrend going on. Look at these entries. F9, and then we had another entry here, and then we had another entry on this candle here. But you see that we are in a flat market. So you'll see up here it will say flat. Now it's saying it's a weak bearish market. So we need to be thinking about selling. And so everything is starting to pull towards actually going into sell trades, even though we've got a long. Now if I scroll back a little bit, I want to scroll back, just turn these off. If I scroll back a little bit, you can see how really messy the market was at this point. You can see how it was a nightmare to trade here. So there's a nice buy on that candle, okay, and it does actually achieve target of the second one. Okay, that was good. But you then get this buy sell, and if you get in a swing trading, it'll normally swing trade between two fib levels. And I can show you that on, there was a current gold, it's been doing this on quite successfully. I'm running on the hourly chart, by the way, so it's quite important. So let's just try and find a nice little swing going. There's some swinging going on here, and it's actually half fibs. So it's going between the two half fib levels. You see that? And so when you get, one thing you're looking for there is, firstly, you've got an M shape. Secondly, it broke when it's between these two lines. It's starting to stagnate, and it was flat. Now it's into a bearish market. Then it's gone into a bullish market. So as far as the software is concerned, it's actually a weak bearish market because it hasn't established that new trend yet. But you can see pretty much what's going on here. Look at this. Look at the way there's indecision here. And you can see the way it does bounce around between fib levels, and I'm so surprised that almost all the time people draw fib levels on charts, this software will pick it up and will match their levels. So for instance, look at this sell, the sell there. Where's the target? Second fib level. Okay, so enter it on that candle, it hits the second fib level. Okay, there's a buys here. Do they hit? Well, you wouldn't take them because you're in a bearish trend, so you don't want to be taking those, but they're a good point to say close the trades if you haven't already hit your take profit. Look at the second, so the second one, first fib level, second fib level, take profit. First fib level, it didn't do anything, but you notice it's flat, so we'll be saying it's flat up there. Then we've got these buy trades which are kind of ranging between, it made it halfway and then pulled back, made it halfway and pulled back. Hopefully a trailing stop will cover that. Then I've got sell trades. Now, why am I not going to take those buy trades? Because it's in a bearish trend. Okay, because it's actually, although it looks like it's trying, it never crosses all the way across this gulf, if you like, the Gulf of Good Hope, or whatever it's called. I must think of a name for it. But then you've got these nice bearish signals giving you bearish trading opportunities. There, and they're a bit slow. And there was a pullback here, but if you're entered on that first one, targets the second fib level, yeah, it's there. Okay, so trade with the trend is generally the rule. If you know, so, and if you see a signal going the opposite direction, probably a good idea to get out of your trade. Again, the same sort of thing. We've got a nice bearish trend going on, and look at the way this became a bearish trend. It was bullish, but you'll see first thing that happens is the market crosses over the this area here between these two lines. Second thing, you'll see that this line goes completely stagnant. So you've got this kind of crossover going on, and we have established by the time we're over that. So the first point is, look, you could take a trade there. You took a trade on this candle here, achieves the second fib level. First achieves the second fib level, more or less. Make sure your take profits are inside that area, because it can be a bit of an area rather than actual place. Third trade is here, achieves the target of the second fib level, and then you've got a little buy trade. You ignore that signal because, of course, we're in a downtrend. Stay out of it. Okay, but you can take the second trade, the sell trade on that. I suspect that's some kind of news move like that. There's a sell signal there. It kind of pulls back. That'll probably stop you out. That's probably going to be a bad one. So you've had 3 good trades. There's a bad trade that stopped you out. Here, and then you've got a bit of flatness, but you're still interested in sells. Here's your sell signal. Okay, stops there, so you'll probably be okay. It only makes it a little way. Maybe your trading stop will kick in. Depends what your trading stop is. And there's another sell signal here. It pulls back pretty much straight away. Another sell signal there. So you can see that you can keep going with this for hours. And does it achieve? Remember, if you're in that, let's just do this. Okay, so there's a sell signal here. There's a sell signal there. Our target is 2 levels from that, so that's our take profit target. And you see how it hangs around at this fib level. Okay, now at that point you might go, well, your trading stop's going to be well kicking in by then, so you probably add another trade here. It does go straight down to near the fib level. In fact, it hits near the fib level. You see how it just bounces off of it quite nicely. So you need to have your take profit, and actually I will, if I see something getting close to take profit, I'll put the stop right up behind it, just in case. And then we had this news, so it's lots of news and noise and stuff going on, and although we've still got a bearish trend, it's been broken a little bit by this huge move, and it'll pull back halfway, and it's going to come back to this 61.8%, and it will carry on. So using this software, you can get a really good idea of what is going on in the markets. So anything like this where you've got a change, like well, it suddenly rallies across that area, okay, that's a sign it could be going into an uptrend. Okay, it could be changing direction. It's one of the most difficult things to spot in a market, is a market that's changing direction. It's very difficult to spot. You know, but you know that, so for instance, you know this is not a change of direction. Okay, it's just a pullback. And you know that because it doesn't make it across this gulf. If it had gone all the way up here, then the chances are it's trying to change direction. It doesn't always do it, and you'll see that these two lines start coming together, ready to cross. So by using the Hurricane Forex indicator, you get a lot of information about what any market is doing at any time. So here's one, for instance, where you can see what's happened is we've had a bearish trend down. It's flat, but you have to move. It's between half and full of that fib level there. It bounces up through this, so you might think, we're going into an uptrend. Okay, and in fact, you might there, and then it pulls into a bearish move, and we're back into a bearish trend again. Okay, so it didn't actually make it, but you know, because it's gone below this yellow line, we're back into a bearish trend. Here's the first signal. There's the second and third signals. There's another signal here, and now you start seeing, okay, what is this? New Zealand CAD. Now you start seeing buy signals, but we don't take them. Why don't we take them? Because we're still in a very okay. That means something like that is something for me to take on that candle. So you see it bounces up, nearly hits that, and I'm thinking, maybe we're going into an uptrend. It's all about odds, you see. It's all about odds. Now look at this beautiful setup again. All right, really flat market. This is gold, okay, which I've been watching all day. It's been quite entertaining. You can see that we've got, although it's in a bearish trend, it's going that way. All right, it's a flat market. I know some people have been trading this up and down these levels for the last few days. Okay, and you can do that. You could do that. But what happened was we have lots of news today, and you can see what's happened here. This is all news. But you look at the way it just bounced off that line, as if that line is actually a line in the sand that they can't get past. However, if we get a proper move past that, maybe up to the 23.6%, a proper breakout of this, these are not proper breakouts because they just pulled back into it, then we're looking for, then that's off. It's doing this. Look at this nice downtrend. So here's the first signal, and you can see, you'd already know because you can see the lines going together. There's a big candle, probably some news, into that sell down to there, and now you're in this downtrend. Okay, you're in a downtrend, and then your next sell signal there. Does it achieve the target of the second fib level? Yes. There's the first one. There's the second target of the second fib level. So you can see how cool it is, and how you can actually make profits even in flat markets. So, and in fact here you can see we've got quite powerful rangings, and it all hangs around halfway. It's stuck with a halfway fib level. Cannot break out of it, and even then it looks like it's broken out here. But we all know that was news today. That was the yen, GBP, sterling, and Aussie doing its stuff. I'd like to see a break of the 38.2% because of the break of that. But where am I going to go? If it breaks that, we're going there, probably. But it's not. It's going to take a while, as it's only 39 pips ATR, so it's going to take a good few hours to get there if it does go that way. So I hope this is kind of helpful, looking at some trends. I mean, this is a messy old chart, sterling yen, but that's all because of today's news from yen and from sterling as well. But there's a nice downtrend going on here. Look at the way it bounced up here. It didn't quite make it through here. Just bounced back down again. So you had some nice buy trades, but you can't take them because you're in a downtrend. So you're looking at that going, that's a downtrend. However, it starts, and in fact it continued in a downtrend, But here it looks like it's starting to actually pull together like it did here. So it was in an uptrend, and you can see you start getting sell signals at the top there. Sell signal, sell signal. But you know that this is an area it's going to find very difficult because it's between these two lines. So it's fighting, they're fighting to get to break into a new trend. And then you've got on that candle, you see how it breaks quite nicely, and then it goes down. So you don't have to take the trade there on that signal. You'd probably look at it a bit later and go, wait a minute, that's actually broken that level, that fib level, so I'll take that. And there's another one here, and I want to get to my target there. So where does it go? So you get a signal on that, and you go, yeah, I'm in. And it goes straight down to the fib level. It just stops. There's like a big wall there. It can't get through. So then it pulls back up through to here. Doesn't make it through there. That was too much of a barrier for it. So it's pulled back down to here. Okay, this is the 200 period Heikin-Ashi. It's a moving average calculated on Heikin-Ashi principles. And same with this one here. So they work to tell you when the market's compressing like this, we know that we're moving into a different trend. Okay, likewise, you can see how here it did start here to try. That was actually trying to move into a bullish move, but it just bullish trend, but it just didn't make it. And then look at the way it bounces off this line. Look, see how accurately there. Even when it did make it slightly above there, I thought we were going to make it into an uptrend, but it was too fast. Came down crazy, and it then breaks down there. And I'm expecting another bounce back off that. Once things are settled down tomorrow, we might have to actually have some trades on that. But you can't trade this madness. It's just bonkers. But what you can do is see where the market's going, and you can see that. So you see how the lines are coming together. So there may be a chance it might just be stagnating for a while. Look at this buys. Buy there, buy there, buy there, and then some nice clean sells. Although my feelings are I wouldn't take it because we've got a big boundary for it to get across to get into a proper bearish trend. You know, and it does actually hit this, and it just bounces off it. So you can see how powerful the maths is behind this. Because it's all maths. This is all Fibonacci ratios, Heikin-Ashi calculations. And I know there's a lot on the chart. People do say there is a lot on the chart. So all these things are just fib levels that it works out itself. You can see them. 100%, 78%, 81%, 38.2. So we know roughly where things are going. We know which direction the trend's moving. So we know that, for instance, here we went into a bullish trend, but it didn't last long and just went back into a bearish trend. Okay, we know roughly where things are going to bounce. And so it is really a toolkit for traders. And I know people like they're playing charts, but this is much more powerful because we know, you get signals that tell you when you can enter. And you can download a 7-day demo, I think, from MetaTrader. I think you can only use it on test accounts. But or you can only use it for back testing, so you can't use it on live markets. But it's like $30 a month, and that's just to buy me a beer. Keep me in. And we've got a Discord group that's really good. Not many people in it at the moment. Love you to join it, even if you're just testing it out and having a look. And just hopefully this will help people who are new or being experienced traders, because it helps me to know that I'm entering for a good reason. And if I'm wrong, I haven't got a big stop, so my stops and takes profits are always good. I always start a new demo account to test each version with, although I have another account I run all the time, like a live account I run all the time. I like to just test the demo accounts, and I think this version is really moving onto a new level, really. So I mean, just look at this chart. What would you do? So you take this sell, you take that sell, it would stop out. You'd see buys and sells together. So here it would stop out. All right, there it wouldn't stop out, but it would. There's a buy signal, so you might be a bit careful about it. You've then got a sell. And then it starts. And the reason you wouldn't actually be taking it, this is another thing I want to point out, is when you get near the 100%, there's a high chance of it turning around, and we need to, and it needs to recalculate the fibs. So I don't tend to trade near the 100%. And then in fact it does recalculate the fibs for the next day, for Monday. This is Monday over here. So there's no trades in there. There's a buy, but we don't take a buy because we're in a downtrend. Here's my first trade. There it is. There's my target. Second, third, and fourth trades have the same target. Actually, the target would probably be here, but your trailing stop would have kicked in, so you'd be safe on it and you'd take profit. You would actually, because of the news broke this. The news broke it, and that's all it is. It's just news broke it. Otherwise, that would have continued in a nice downtrend to your target, but it won't now. Obviously, it won't now at all. So moving through, just loads of down. You can easily see. So this is an hourly chart. I always trade the hourly chart. I've got the other information here if I need it. If I've got a chart like this, I know that I'm in a pullback, okay, or I'm going to break through, but it's just a bullish chart. So I'm just going to take buys, and I'm going to identify these buys. Buy, 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 buy. Okay, so if you want more information, I mean, this is an interesting one. Just before I finish off, you can see we've got, there's the top there. Okay, it's trying to break through there. It is a bullish trend. Okay, so there is a chance. This is all because of news, okay, that flatness, but it might actually break back through there. So I mean, I wouldn't take a trade on that even with this signal, because I need to know that I need to see it break that top, and it is pretty high. Okay, we have gone up quite powerfully up to here. Look at that lovely trend, very nice. So you can, I mean, I hope that's helpful for people. You know, I just want to help people trade and make money in the forex markets, because it's hard. It's very hard. Let's put this one back onto these two ones up there. Right, so website hurricaneforex.com. You can find the Discord group there as well. Love to have you in the Discord group, even if you're not using the indicator. It's just one indicator. You just drop it on your chart. There's other utilities as well available in the Discord group, including Open All Charts, which opens all the charts, so we can tell you how to do it. And there's like a default template with these colours because they're kind of nice. You know, and it'll help you make good forex trading decisions, hopefully. You know, but nothing is perfect, and eventually, you know, you do have to apply your knowledge of the markets. You know, for instance, looking at this horrible mess. Oh, this is oil. That's why it's a horrible mess. So I'd not be tempted to trade this. I don't trade oil really. I just like looking at it because it's linked to other things. So, but you know, looking at this, what's it doing? It's bouncing between a fib level. Just can't get out of this fib level. If we get a breakout of this fib level, it's going to go down to the next fib level or up to the next fib level. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. So I hope that's helpful. HurricaneForex.com. I've had enough now.